Welcome to Success from Scratch, your place for innovation, creativity, and the blueprint of success from peak performers just like you. What's our intention? The intention each week is to shed light and provide a platform to share best practices and success across our JPAR teams, agents, staff, and in some cases, our preferred partners. So let's get started. Welcome to episode number 6 of Success from Scratch. My guest today, Naddia Morales. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm originally from Puerto Rico, and my parents moved us out to the States when I was about 9 or 10, right. And grew up in the States, and then I went back to Puerto Rico, and then I ended up in Texas.
Wow, how did you end up in Texas?
Well, at the time I was actually doing REO asset management for portfolios of foreclosed homes. And I had an account with Chase. And when Chase and Washington Mutual merged, they cut off all the remotes and some of the servicers. So I actually was left unemployed. And Dallas is a big REO hub. And so I came here looking for work.
Wow. And how did you get into then the residential side of real estate?
When I came and I started working in REO, I didn't like it.
Right.
I didn't like the cubicle life because it was different when I was doing asset management from home and remote, and I still, but being in a new place and I didn't know anybody, it was really tough for me because I had just gone through a divorce and I was alone with my daughter and we knew very little people. And so I got my real estate license and started working on some investment accounts, doing hedge fund purchases and things like that for investors. And then I found my niche with the Hispanic community, and finding that community helped me find the people to build a support group here for us as a family. Right. And so I fell in love with it.
Right, she just fell in love with it. And
I did.
Natalia, your daughter's here today, and
yes, she is.
Obviously a big motivation for you for your success. Tell us what drove you about maybe your daughter's part of your life and growing your business because of her.
Well, she's a very big part of my life, and she is my only daughter. And at one time when we were doing the transition, I basically went broke, Mark. I had $212 in my account. Wow. And I always feel like that every day. That's how I run my business. I always run it, and I'm always going and going because I always feel like that's what I have, because that's how I started. And so that's never gone away, and I just want to provide for her and then provide an example of, doing things for passion. Right.
So as an independent contractor, we wake up every morning unemployed.
Yes.
So you think of that, for you, that's motivation.
Yes.
That each day I'm unemployed.
Right.
And you're really starting over.
Right. And I feel like I'm starting over all the time because we're always revamping how we do things and where we're going to reinvest. The success that we've had, we're always trying to make our processes better. Right. And so I do feel like I'm starting over all the time, every single day. It's, enough is never enough because you never know when you're not going to have enough.
Right. So from $212 in the bank to a wildly successful team now based in our Plano office.
Yes.
Tell us about that story. How did you build your team, and how did that become so successful?
So, I'm actually transitioning from individual to a team. So I just hired someone on 2 weeks ago as a buyer's agent, and I do have an assistant. Yes. When you start having success and you start getting referrals and people start reaching out to you and you can't keep up with the phone calls, you kind of need a little help, right? So it's been a very long, drawn-out process that I've been avoiding for a very long time. So I started out with a transaction coordinator, and then I grew into having a full-time assistant last year. And then this year, as of 2 weeks ago now, I have a buyer's agent. So I've been an individual up until now. And we are, I guess, again, like I said, we're starting over and we're revamping how we're going to make this a well-oiled machine.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's been the biggest learning you've had of making that transition?
Having the processes in place and having the systems in place is very critical. Right. Because when you are a solo person and you have everything in your head, and you try to bring people in, if you don't have a system to give them, in order for them to learn how you want it done, then it makes it a choppy transition. And we're still working on that. I mean, it's not like we're not struggling. We still have our daily struggles, and we learn and we adjust. And I guess that's the biggest thing. It's not giving up and adjusting to the changes that you need to make in order to make it successful for everyone, not just for yourself. Right.
So what I heard was persistence.
Yes.
Continuous improvement.
Yes.
System, structure, process.
Yes.
That's just amazing. What an amazing journey you're on.
Thank you.
How's it feel?
At times it's overwhelming. I'm not going to lie.
Right.
I do have my struggles with the balance, right. Because I am trying to always improve, and you're running your clients, and you're running a lot of things at once, and then you're also training new people to be able to help. So it does sometimes get overwhelming, but I feel like there's always hope, whereas before, when I used to work for corporate America, there wasn't anywhere to go. There wasn't any opportunity. There wasn't, there wasn't anything that could potentially change my life or change the lives of other people.
Yeah. So you said it in your words. You said the word hope.
Hope.
There's hope.
There's hope.
Which is amazing. So when you feel overwhelmed, how do you deal with that? How do you work through
I
the
pray. I am a big prayer. I'm a big faith person.
Right.
I pray, and I give it to God. And actually, I just ran into MJ on our way out here, and we ran to each other in the hall, and we stopped, and we have this beautiful relationship, her and I. And we stopped, and we just prayed down the hall. We just held hands before I walked in here, and we prayed. Amazing. And so we tend to worry. I tend to worry a lot about what's going to happen 3 months from now, what's going to happen 6 months. Where's the pipeline going to come from? Are we doing enough today to get to where we need to go tomorrow? Right. And then you're running the day-to-day operations on top of that. It can get overwhelming. I'm successful because it's hard for me to say no, and so I work probably a lot more than I should as an individual person, and that's why I'm now getting help. But having the faith that God is going to provide at any moment, because I've seen it. Right. I've seen it. I've been down in my bank account. I've been down with no pipeline before. I think, what was it? About a year and a half ago, we started the year with nothing in the pipeline. Right. And you always second guess yourself, even though you have been successful. And things happen, and God always shows up, and God always provides. Right. And sometimes I start getting phone calls, and I'm like, where is all of this coming from? Because I always feel that it's not just me. I feel like this is a ministry to me. Right. You're not in it alone. I'm not in it alone. Right. My husband's extremely supportive. That is the number one key, I think. He picks up where I can't, at home, with Natalia, in other areas of our lives, and he is so understanding of when I can or cannot be there. But then he also gets in the car with me and drives me to showings, so that we can spend an afternoon together, and we'll plan around the job. And having that support at home, and not having to worry and stress about, oh my God, when am I going to see my family? Because they're all in it with me. It takes a village. And so it's not just a me project, it's an us project. Yeah, so having that support at home is a big part of your success. It's a huge part. I wouldn't be able to do it without him. Yeah, we just had a client appreciation party on Saturday. And we invited people over, and he's up at 7:30 a.m. putting up the speakers and the music, and he was down at 1:30 at night still making burgers for people. I would not be able to do it without him. Yeah. He runs around, and he has his full-time job. He's an engineer. And so having that support, I wouldn't be able to do as much as I do if I didn't have that back end at home. Have that support. Yes. So there we have it. Dedication, system, structure, process. And we'll see you soon on another episode of Success from Scratch.